The U.S. Air Force is preparing for a new milestone in aircraft design. Increased range will improve lethality, while fuel efficiency will conserve resources and allow more combat sorties. Ravi Chaudhary, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force for Energy, Facilities and Environment, said, "Last year, service officials described the blended wing design as one of the most impressive possibilities for future aircraft. The approach involves abandoning the traditional tubular fuselage. The Z-5 looks a bit like the B-2 Spirit nuclear bomber. If tests are successful, the U.S. Air Force is prepared to consider it as a replacement for the KC-46 Pegasus aerial refueling tanker, as well as the Lockheed Z-5 and C-17 Globemaster ILI transport aircraft." A joint venture between Jet Zero and Northrop Grumman received $40 million in government funds to develop the Z-5 in 2023. The U.S. Air Force intends to invest another $235 million in the project over the next 3 years. The company also plans to attract private investment. Jet Zero announced work on the Z-5 back in May of this year. Then it was said that the new aircraft will be a replacement for the Boeing 767 and will be able to carry at least 250 passengers. It will have a range of more than 9,200 kilometers. The mixed-wing design implies the use of a wide and flat fuselage. This is why the Z-5 resembles a B-2 stealth bomber more than any of the existing passenger aircraft. Also in this scheme, there is no clear dividing line that separates the hull from the wing. The flat fuselage stands out for its increased lift compared to the traditional tubular shape. This requires a wing with a large surface area. At the same time, aerodynamic stability allows the tail wing to be dispensed with. This reduces drag and aircraft weight. The comparatively lighter design could be around 50% more efficient than a traditional mobility aircraft and able to travel twice as far, a goal that, if achieved, could substantially shrink one of the Air Force's significant annual expenses as well as its environmental footprint. Air Force aircraft and bases guzzle around 2 billion gallons of fuel, costing many billions of dollars each year. The decision marks a new milestone in aircraft design and offers a glimpse into a more capable, greener future for the Air Force inventory. Service officials praised the offering as a key development that will position the U.S. military to outpace Chinese technology and outmaneuver its forces in a potential conflict. And the sooner that mobility assets can reach their destination, the more flexibility it gives the rest of the joint force on the battlefield. Greater range increases lethality. Fuel efficiency conserves our energy resources and allows us to generate more sorties, said Ravi Chaudhary, the Air Force's Assistant Secretary for Energy, Installations and Environment. In an era in which installations will no longer be the sanctuary they were in previous conflicts, this capability is going to be critical. That approach flattens a traditional tube fuselage into a more aerodynamic, somewhat triangular shape to carry payloads where the wing meets the body and be less visible on radar. Chaudhary said the Air Force will simultaneously build up the supply chain and other logistics it needs to transition the prototype to a full-fledged program, if the service taps it to make the jump into real-world operations. But Major Gen Albert Miller, Air Mobility Command's Director for Strategy and Plans, cautioned against viewing the jet as the sole solution for the Air Force's next-generation airlift and air refueling programs. At the least, it could offer a new perspective on the fuel efficiency and stealth qualities that workhorse aircraft will need in the future, he said. The Air Force said in a press release the same day that several military transport configurations are possible using blended wing-body aircraft. Officials also hailed its potential applications for commercial air travel as well. This project is a win-win for the commercial industry as well as for the DoD, Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall said. This is going to be a Pathfinder project that's going to make a big difference. The Pentagon's renewed focus on the Pacific as its top priority has placed a premium on assets that can travel farther and faster without breaking the bank. Cargo and tanker aircraft are expected to fly into harm's way more often, spurring the military and defense industry to reimagine the large, slow platforms for contested areas. We're going into this new area where it's all about bringing capabilities to the Air Force, the warfighter, and the commercial space. JetSero Chief Executive Officer Tom O'Leary said at an Air and Space Forces Association event to unveil the plan. If you enjoy content like this, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this video because I appreciate all your support.